有请主持人。
开放合作，共向未来。现场的各位来宾、女士们、先生们，亲爱的媒体朋友们，大家下午好！欢迎各位。金秋是北京最美的时节，那我们在最美的季节相聚到了充满活力的石景山，来开启今天的2023中国国际服务贸易交易会，并出席本次2023石景山国际开放
No.3 Shijingshan International Open Corporation Forum. And I would like to kick off this afternoon session, and I'm the moderator. My name is Yutong, and I'm very honored to have you today. And today, we're very honored to have the VIP guests who present here today, and I would like to introduce them. They are Mr. Xia Linmao, member of the Standing Committee of Beijing Municipal Committee and Executive Vice Mayor. Mr. Wang Dongtang, Director of Service Trade and Business Service Department of Ministry of Commerce. Wang Jing, PBOC Beijing Office. Ms. Liu Meiying, Deputy Director of Beijing 2 District Office. Mr. Zhao Weijiu, Beijing Financial Office. Mr. Lin Jiayi, the political counselor of a single embassy in China. Mr. Ye Qingwen, business counselor of a Singapore embassy in China, director of China Department of Singapore Enterprise Development Bureau. Zheng Chao, Executive Vice President and Chairman of Export Committee of China Chamber of Commerce for Import-Export of mechanical and electronic products. And at the same time, we are very honored to have a representative from Finnish Chamber of Commerce, German North Rhine-West Affiliate International Business Agency, and also have delegates from Shougang Fund and Singapore Gold Eagle Group. And welcome. And next, I would like to introduce the government officials from Shijingshan District. They are Mr. Chang Wei, Secretary of the District Party Committee. Mr. Li Xin, Deputy Secretary of the District Party Committee and District Chief. Mr. Liu Haitao, the Secretary that in charge of the government issues. And Ms. Chen Tingting, the Standing Committee of the district and responsible for the organization. And Li Jingke, member of Standing Committee of District Party Committee and Minister of Propaganda Department. And Mr. Wang Xiaodong, the Standing Committee of the District Committee. And Li Xianxia, the member of Standing Committee of District Party Committee and Executive Deputy District Head. Wang Zhiyong, Deputy Head of District. Li Wenhua, Deputy Head of District. Huang Ying, Deputy Head of the District. Liang Jie, Party Secretary and Chairman of Shougang Group. And please give another round of warm applause to all the VIP guests and the government officials who present here today. And China has become the second largest economy in the world and has established the trading relations with over 140 countries. And the total trade in goods ranks #1 in the worldwide and plays an important role in the international arena. And China has formed a wider scope and deeper opening up pattern, and which provide great opportunities for the investors. And with the unprecedented change with the political and economies, and we need to build a more resilient and sustainable relations with our trading partners. Openness and cooperation are the core keywords for our future development. And today we are gathered here in Shijingshan to discuss the future ahead of us. And we look forward to the future with the initial intention of opening up and development. And next, please give the warm applause to Mr. Xia Linmao, the member of Standing Committee of Beijing Municipal Committee and Executive Vice Mayor, to address to us. And Mr. Xia, you have the floor. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good afternoon. And I'm very honored to be here and to get together with you in Shougang Park to attend 2023 safeties and also to extend the forum on the international open cooperation in Shijingshan on behalf of the Beijing Municipality government. I would like to extend my welcome to our new friends and old friends. And safeties is the largest international forum and conference related to trade and service, and it's a very important platform for leading innovation. And Shougang has held the safeties conferences for 3 consecutive years. And led by safeties, and Shougang has revealed the great vitalities and at the same time make us feel rejuvenation of the Shougang Park. And the showcase for the West Hill and West part in Shijingshan. And I've worked in Shijingshan district for 6 years and I'm very familiar with all the things in Shijingshan district. And Shijingshan used to be the industrial base in Beijing, and it's created a lot of glories for Beijing. And now Shijingshan turn its roles in city rejuvenation and city renewal. And Shijingshan Park combines the industrial base with the beautiful and the natural landscapes. And in the future, and Shijingshan carries greater responsibility for the industrial upgrading and the transferring. And relying on the safeties platform, Shijingshan is going to gather the forces from home and abroad. And today we're going to talk about open cooperation for a shared future. And we are very happy to announce the mechanisms in Shijingshan district. And this is the great outcome of safeties. And it's also included as a very important project in further expanding the openness of Beijing. And it's also a key project of Beijing. And it shows the importance and significance of the service industry in Beijing. And it helps to build the bilateral and multilateral relations with the different partners from the worldwide. Now, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, openness and inclusiveness are the features of Beijing. And we would like to welcome the professionals from different parts of the world to join us and to come to Shougang Park, come to Shijingshan, and to feel the hospitality of the host, and also same time to deepen the collaboration with the local people and to feel the rejuvenation of the Shougang Park. And let's embrace the bright future altogether. And last but not least, I would like to wish the conference a complete success. Thank you, Mr. Xia, Mayor Xia. Thank you for your wonderful speech, and thank you for your statement. And we would like to welcome the expats and the professionals from home abroad to join us. And next, I will give the floor to Mr. Wang Dongtang, Director of the Department of Service Trade and Business Service of the Ministry of Commerce, to address to us. And Mr. Wang, you have the floor. Distinguished Mayor Xia, distinguished Party Secretary Chang Wei, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good afternoon. It's my great honor to attend the 2023 Shijingshan International Open Cooperation Forum. And on behalf of the Ministry of Commerce, I would like to extend my congratulations to the opening of the conference. And yesterday, President Xi sent his statement for safeties, and he stressed that China insists on opening up, and we aiming to achieve high quality development and openings, and we would like to provide opportunities for our partner countries. And the presidency mentioned the significance of the service industry and talk about our future direction, development direction. And his speech increases our confidence on service industry. And trade in service in important sector in tertiary industry. And it play a prominent role in trading development. And the central government and the local government attached great importance in service industry and also formulated a series of regulation and laws and in order to improve the service industry, and such as Hainan Free Trade Zone. And at the same time, we have launched the cross-boundary free trade zone regulation, and also reached agreement with over 66 countries, signed a series of MOU and agreements, and the agreements take effective immediately. And at the same time, we have deepened the collaboration in terms of the digitalization and service enhancement, and improving the business environment. And another point is we insist in promoting relations with BRIC countries and Belt and Road Initiative countries. And we deepen the collaboration with Singapore, France, and Germany, and expanded the networking of services. We have signed two-way agreements, around 15 agreements, and over 200 countries has formed the service networking relations with China, and it has become a great growth point for China.
Third, in terms of service innovation, we can make it as a driving momentum for the future. We have the 3 rounds of service trade as the pilot program, such as the outsourcing of service trade and the special demonstration base as the deepened cooperation. Service trade reform and opening up platform will be built as well. In 2012 to 2022, the past 10 years, we have about 7% of annual growth of the import of the service trade, which is higher than the total annual growth of our export. In the first 7 months, we have about 3.67 trillion RMB of, which is about 8% growth in terms of service trade. Knowledge-intensive service trade has accounted for 43.2%, up by 1.4 percentage points year-on-year. Service sharing for new opportunities. In terms of total service trade volume, for 9 years in a row, we ranked number 2. For import, for 10 years in a row, we ranked number 2 as well. Over the past 10 years, our service import has accumulated about 50 trillion RMB, which demonstrated our size and strength. SIFTers and the CIE have been hosted on that annual basis to strengthen our cooperation and provide major platform and carrier for our cooperation. China's market will become the global market, and the market is shared by all. China's development will also become the opportunities for the whole world. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, Beijing service industry has a solid foundation and potential for our service. Beijing has become the only city in Beijing to serve as the expanded area of service trade and pilot free trade zone. The 2 zones in terms of service trade and digital service trade, we want to cultivate special and professional service. I believe our service trade volume ranked among the top in China. Shijingshan as has served as the west door of Beijing and the ancient area of Beijing for service trade. We will give full play to the role of Shijingshan to build finance, technology, digital service, and sports and commercial service as well. Next stage, the Commerce Ministry will also strengthen support for Shijingshan to deepen our international cooperation and boost our building of international top-notch business atmosphere and industry development ecosystem. I wish all of the guests and entrepreneurs can center on open cooperation and share the future. You can discuss with each other and expand pragmatic cooperation. We can benefit from each other and yield fruits of cooperation. And then you can write the new chapter of service and service trade for high quality and openness. I wish this forum a success. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Wang, for your presentation. Mutual benefits and win-win cooperation and the share of fruits of cooperation. Now let's welcome the Secretary of CPC, Shijingshan District Committee of Beijing Municipality, Mr. Chang Wei. Welcome. Respected Executive Vice Mayor Mr. Sha, respected Dr. Mr. Wang, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good afternoon. On the occasion of 2023 SIFTers, on behalf of Shijingshan District, we gather here in Shijingshan Shougang Park. We share the service trade, fruits, and opportunities with each other. On behalf of our government and our party committee here, I want to extend my congratulations to all of the leaders who are present here. My hearty thanks also go to those friends who have long supported our development. Thank you for being here. SIFTers has become an important part of the global service exhibition. It is the largest one. It has also become an important window for China to China's reform and opening up. And it is also an important part for Beijing to create the comprehensive demonstration zone of service trade and free trade zone. This year we have the themed exhibition and some forums and parallel meetings. We have been hosted them here in Shougang for 3 years in a row. We have the theme of openness for cooperation and shared opportunities. We focus on investment and we share the fruits of international cooperation. I believe thanks to your participation, we can pull together the wisdom of cooperation and expand our areas of cooperation, and we can build featured and fruitful cooperation forums with each other. Shijingshan lies at the west of Beijing, and we are also lying at the close mountains with each other. We have enjoyed the full-fledged transportation here with geographical location advantage. We used to be the cradle of industry of Beijing. We have created the modern industry fruits and glory for China. And you can see after the relocation of Shougang Park and the 2 Olympic Games, we have been shifting from the traditional heavy industry to green and high-end industry, from the traditional Rust Belt to the new urban development emerging areas. We have become the new landmark of Beijing. The west door of Beijing has showcased our vigor and vitality. Shijingshan is lying at the new stage of integrating itself into the development of Beijing, and we're also lying at the key stage of urban rejuvenation. We want to seize the opportunities of Beijing, Tianjin, and Hebei synchronized development and coordinated development. We want to strengthen our industry revolution and transformation and the urban development. We have the industry and the culture and the governance coordination with each other. We want to build the new momentum and the new landmark and build the high caliber development of West Door Beijing for urban rejuvenation and regeneration. This will become our new opportunities. Beijing 2022 and SIFTers and the new landmark will become our 3 major brands. We will also look at the retrofitting and renovation of the old buildings and old offices areas. We want to strengthen our governance and our service functions. In this way, we can drive forward the development of the whole area and the general rejuvenation of Shijingshan district. Industry transformation will become our strategic part of our in the economy. Service in the technology and digitalization will become the new features, and the business and high-end state-of-the-art technology will also strengthen our development. We'll also deploy our industry of internet and AI and virtual reality and different new technologies. We will also strengthen our vigor and elasticity and comprehensive strength and economic strength. We have also been optimizing our business environment as the new opportunities. I believe we have the 6.0 version of optimizing our environment. We have the butler service and the butler packaging service to promote smart governance and boost the industry development and businesses and startups here in Shijingshan. We will have the new momentum of our service. We will also serve as the role model of service trade and opening up. We have the industry openness and the industry and the parks open up. We'll engage in the whole process of attracting the leading enterprises. In this way, we can expand our circles of friends during these sectors. I believe we'll promote over 130 cooperation projects with over 30 billion RMB of potential investment. We can expand our charm of investment, and we have great potential for future. Dear guests, dear leaders, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, I believe Shijingshan is enjoying our transformation. We are enjoying our momentum. Investment environment is also being optimized. Opening up and development will also become our new momentum and the new catalyst. I believe we have the potential to attract more investment here as well. Shijingshan will become the new space for opening up and cooperation, and we can also create your new chapters here. We sincerely invite all of the guests from across the whole world to come here to compose a new chapter of cooperation and a brighter future. I wish this forum for success. Thank you. Thank you for speech, Mr. Chang. As Mr. Chang has mentioned, Shijingshan has different projects and different enterprises. Here, we will also host the signing ceremony later on. I wish all of you have become an important part of this great journey. Through 3 years of speeches, we have the better picture of the top-notch design of our opening up and international cooperation. I believe we have more understanding of the future planning of Shijingshan's development as well. Now look at the keynote speech. First, let's invite Mr. Li Xing, Mayor of Shijingshan District and Deputy Secretary of CPC Shijingshan District Committee. Welcome. Respected Vice Mayor Mr. Shang, respected Mr. Wang, respected Minister from Singaporean Embassy. Today we're gathering here in Shougang Park of Shijingshan to enjoy swiftness and development opportunities. President Xi has mentioned that during the opening remarks of swiftness this year, President Xi has mentioned this year marks the 45th year anniversary of China's reform and opening up. China will continue to promote high-level cooperation, high-quality development, and comprehensive modernization of China will be promoted. This will become new opportunities for countries across the globe as well. Today, we have the theme of opening up for cooperation and embrace the new future. On 3 aspects, I will give you the brief picture for communication with each other. Today, I believe we are becoming the new landmark of fabulous journeys. Shijingshan is an important downtown area of Beijing and the west of Beijing as well. We have fulfilled the urban rejuvenation and urban development. we have the holistic approach of industries, culture, and tourism and governance. We want to create the urban rejuvenation landmarks for the future. We are creating the national level industry transformation demonstration base, and we want to promote the upgrading of traditional industry to the high-end industry. I believe in terms of the Beijing banking and insurance park, it has been jointly boosted by the China Banking and Insurance Regulatory Commission and the Beijing Municipality. This is a high-end park. I believe modern financial industry has also been developed here with Everbright Bank and Huaxia Bank. I believe you have the credit card centers here. And Everbright Bank Credit Card Center and China Finance Electronic Development Center, finance and insurance enterprises have come here one after one. In this new journey of information industry, we served TikTok, Sohu, and Oriental company. In science service industry, we have enjoyed the support of the High Energy Physics Research Institute of Chinese Academy of Sciences, among others. For 5 years in a row, we have been awarded by the Council, and with our driving efforts, we have been moving forward together. In the first half of this year, in terms of regional GDP, here it is up by 7.6%, fiscal revenue up by 15.2%, the newly added market entities up by over 41%. In terms of the growth speed, we have been ranking on the top of the downtown areas of Beijing. We have been creating green and low carbon waste service functional areas with a full-fledged transportation system. We have 4 sub-train lines and 2 express roads, and the west part of Chang'an Street and our educational resources have also been created. We have the affiliated middle school of Peking University and Shijingshan primary school. I believe you can see we have also been building the universal kindergarten of Shijingshan district, and we have 3 AAA level hospitals providing medical services for all of you. We are trying to create culture of the tourism, focusing on different religions such as the Buddhism, and we'll have also the mirrors of the Ming Dynasty, as well as the historic streets showcasing the development of the founding of PRC and the development journey of Shougang Group. I believe we have been renowned as the very first part to be approved as the forest city.
And the forestry cover is around 43.8%. And we are dedicated to build a new highland for confidence and rejuvenation. And the presidency mentioned in 2020 that supported Beijing to construct the 2 districts zone in China in Beijing to expand the openings. And the digitalized economy and open services are the key words. And Beijing masters the opportunity offered by the construction of 2 districts, the modern finance, modern IT, meta-universe, AI, IoT, industrial internet, appealed the new enterprise and the startups to locate here in Shijingshan district. And the meta-universe of the Chinese Academy of Science also located their offices here. And in the north part of Shougang Park has been turned from the industrial area to an area with entertainment, cultural, ecosystem, and industries, and Baidu, Tencent Group, and aviation institutions. Over 200 enterprises locate here. And it's formed technology plus and internet plus industrial clusters. And federal policy make for a business environment district, and we have set up a office in Hong Kong and to attract the overseas companies to come to China, to come to Beijing. And also there are 10 preferential regulation of Shijingshan to help the develop for the enterprises, and it will become a new fertile ground for the development. And this is another case for Singapore Royal Golden Eagle. And another case is China Overseas Technology Finance City has been built and put into use. And also there is a project with a British company, Jardine, and we rely on the platform of safeties, and we carry out the construction of international open cooperation zone. And this is a great demo zone of safeties, and also it forms a linkage zone for safeties spillover. And we help the foreign enterprises to locate in Beijing and to form the area with service and green development and low carbon development. And this is also the modern area for the transformation of the old industrial bases, and also facing the member countries from the Belt and Road Initiative, but together with ASEAN, Singapore, France, and Germany, and Finland. And we have established a great relationship with the Ministry of Commerce and Chamber of Commerce. And we explore our way together and to enjoy the outcomes of the high quality development in China. And when people have the same goals and willingness, when we are not separated by the mountain and the rivers. And I hope that we can explore the futures all together. Thank you, Mr. Li Xin, and thank you for your wonderful speech. And after 3 years of hard working, and we have seen that a lot of outcome have been achieved, and we believe that we're going to obtain more outcomes in the future. And next, I will give a floor to Mr. Liu Meiying, and she's the Deputy Director of the 2 District Office. And Ms. Liu, you have the floor. Distinguished Dong Tang, Mr. Dong Tang, distinguished Mr. Li, and it's my pleasure to be here and to extend 2023 Shijingshan International Open Cooperation Forum and to talk about the 2 district zone construction in Beijing. And 3 years ago, President Xi stated that supported Beijing to expand, to build the expanded opening zone for Beijing, and it's called Open Demo Zone for service industry, and there is another zone called the Free Trade Zone. So that's why it's called the 2 district zone. And for the past 3 years, we carry out the regulation from the state, and at the same time, we dedicated to explore the way for the local development. And for the past 3 years, and we are dedicated to give a full play of the openness of Beijing. This is the capital city of China, and at the same time, as an important part of the 5 district linkage, we adhere to the strategic positioning and integrate with the service and the other industries. We successfully landed over 40 national projects and 10 special reform plans and 40 best practice cases. And we are dedicated to attract the expats. And at the same time, we introduce overseas vocational qualification recognition catalog and supporting the implementation of a series of convenience measures and we try to simplify the application procedures. And from the science and technology perspectives, we provide a preferential taxation rate for the high-tech companies. And at the same time, we come up with a series of preferential regulation for the startups. And from the cultural perspective, we launched the blockchain plus publishing right ecosystem, and we have successfully passed one certificate with 3 copies. And we try to make the publishing industry to satisfy the needs with different backgrounds, and at the same time to initiate the cultural capital market in Beijing. And industrial park is another important carrier for opening up. And there are 20 key parks, and they are a scientific technology park, financial park, consumption and cultural tourism park. And for the past 3 years, and we have formed 4 sets and 3 batches, and dedicated to build high-quality parks, industrial parks in Beijing, such as Beijing Banking and Insurance Park, Shougang Park. They all located in Shijingshan district. And we attract the foreign funds, and Shangri-La and Singapore Golden Eagle, they all located here. And China German Industrial Park and China Japan Industrial Park, and also they debuted here. And for the past 3 years, we have shown the outcomes for opening up, and we continue to complement our promotion and sales mechanisms. And this is a whole procedure coordination services. And by now, there are 80,000 projects, and 12,000 of them have successfully landed. Like the security company and Wolfie investment, insurance, and asset management companies, they all located here. And at the same time, we continued to optimize the opening up the environment. And we dedicated to build a comprehensive legislation for the foreign investors and expats. And at the same time, we promote the online services for the cross-border enterprises and set up the arbitration centers. And by 2020, until the first half year of this year, we have used the foreign funds around $50.4 billion US, takes 9% nationwide, and the service industry takes 97%. And in the past 3 years, we have made tremendous results and set a good example for the Beijing Municipality. And at the same time, we have launched 3 batches of tasks and completed 245 projects. And at the same time, we encourage the experts and the professors to get into the enterprises and to commercialize the outcomes. And in the past 2 years, and we have landed 633 projects and 55 FDIs. And Shijingshan is dedicated to build high-quality development, open development, and to build the modern service networks for the worldwide. And at the same time, we continue to innovate. And we empower the local people and authorize the local people to innovate, to create, and also empower them with the great legislation. And yesterday, President Xi and gave an important statement in safeties, and he said we insisted on high quality opening up, and also we are dedicated to give a full play of modern Chinese development. And at the same time, they will continue to open up in tourism, in telecommunication, legal fair, and vocational examinations. And at the same time, so we're going to catch up with the international standardized regulation and to leave the threshold for the enterprises for further development. And in the future, we actively collaborate with the international standards and partners and to build the Beijing demonstration for China, for the other cities in China, and also create a better business environment for the other foreign companies. And here, I would like to invite you to join us on the construction of 2 districts in Beijing. And thank you so much. And thank you, Mr. Liu, and thank you for your sharing. And she mentioned a lot of figures and numbers and talk about what we have achieved in the past 3 years in the construction of the 2 districts. And I believe that in the future, more excellent companies and professionals would like to join us. And next, I would like to give floor to the Party Secretary of Shougang Park, Mr. Liang Jie, and she's going to share with us how Shougang Park achieved the high quality development in the past several years. Distinguished Mr. Li Xin, distinguished Ms. Liu Meiying, and it's my pleasure to be here and to talk about the new Shougang Park and talk about our practice of urban renewal. In 2023 Shougang International Open Cooperation Forum, and our topic is about how to construct the urban rejuvenation with a shared future. And I would like to introduce the new Shougang new space. And Shougang locates on the west part of Chang'an Avenue, and it used to be an important industrial park. And Shougang include around 78,000 square meters. And it used to be an industrial park, and now it's an important venue for the urban renewal and rejuvenation, and integrates with entertainment and cultural elements. And there are several features of a Shougang Park.
The transportation is full-fledged. On the west line of Chang'an Avenue, you can see we have 3 existing subway lines, and then based on different streets, you can see we have the heavy industry landscape. This will become the salient features of this area. The Winter Olympic Games have boosted a new development for that, during which we have finished our new infrastructure and the connectivity of this area to the whole area. In terms of the total area from this park to the whole region, we have the functional connection as well. At the same time, we have some different policies as well. Shougang has about 7 square kilometers of area, and we have been opening for different businesses and services as well. In general, our positioning is that we want to create the cross-sector urban industry community. We have the 4.0, 5.0 industry park. We have 270 businesses that have been already doing business here. And then you can see we want to create a new highland for Shougang. We want to create the new development area of aviation and new high-end technologies, and want to create the new industry landscape and the service system, such as the public system and the science technology demonstration area, and create and build industry alliances. And in this way, we can provide financing and investment services as well. You want to build ourselves into the Beijing Consumption Center in combination with our industry park, industry positioning. We want to become the special landscape for the consumption during the pandemic. You can see after the opening of this park, you can see we have 11 million visitors come into this park, and we have 210 million RMB being spent here. And each year we are hosting sifters, special CM exhibition, and high-end summits that have been held here as well. You can see facing into the high internationalization efforts, we want to build ourselves into a better infrastructure-based park. We have 5 hotels and 800 beds that can be provided. We have the high-end forum exhibition room, over 100,000 square meters. Each year we have over 40,000 events. Each day we have about 2 events that are being held here as well. And sometimes you have come here to take pictures of the landmark area, this Master C landmark. We are facing the future, facing international efforts and international communities, and facing the young people. In terms of science, innovation, and vigor and vitality, you can see the enterprises here and businesses. Each year you can see sifters is the regular forum here on annual basis. And then you can see this year we have 9 themed exhibition, and then we have over 70 forums that have been held here. And then you can see we have the demonstration bay become the demonstration base for the traditional industry upgrading. And I want to share with you that during this year's work centering on cooperation and openness, we want to seize opportunities for international cooperation. We have been working UK company with 3 years of cooperation. We have signed the cooperation ceremony during the investment in Beijing summit yesterday. We signed with each other to establish the international talents community on the north part of Shougang Park. This is the functional supporting facility. At the same time, we have been working with the US fund to develop the Liu Gonghui area for the office buildings and commerce buildings. The very first global zero carbon flagship outlet that has also been boosted here, and you can see we have some kids brands as well. Once you come to Shougang Park, you can visit our Shangri-La Hotel. We have used the old power generation room. It has been redesigned by the Italian company, and then we have commissioned Shangri-La Group to manage and operate this hotel. It has been renowned as the world's best retrofitting and renovation hotel. And you can see our efforts in recent years. Shougang has also been working with the Chamber of Commerce of France and Germany, and we have been working with each other. We have visited over 50 delegations visiting here, Total, BP, and ABB, among other top-notch and high-end enterprises. We have been working with Atlas Science Park of Germany. We have been working with each other, and we have been working with Hoflang Research Institute. We have hosted 2 international innovation forums, and the Germany industry communities have also been signing with us. Today, we are welcoming all of you to participate in the Shijingshan International Open Cooperation Forum, and we will use the south part as the new area, and we have 11 million square meters of the new space for international cooperation. Shijingshan has also put in place different policies and measures. We are the very first district to promote the packaged service preferential policies for international organizations, and we have special teams and funds to create the industry landscape and ecosystem to provide better services in the post-Olympic Games era. Shougang will follow professional and international cooperation model. We will look at international high-end cooperation and strengthen innovation base, and boost regional cooperation and create the new highland of Shougang Park for the Shijingshan area. And then we can move into the future together. Last but not least, I wish all of you can enjoy this forum. You can come here to invest in Shijingshan and invest in Shougang Park. We join hands for a better future. Thank you for sharing with us your presentation from different levels. Today, I believe we have a lot of guests present here. I believe you can also enjoy the nighttime Shougang Park. It is fabulous at night. Actually, for Beijing 2022 Olympic Games, you can also remember those fabulous pictures. Shijingshan has also hosted summer and winter Olympic Games in terms of infrastructures. We have our perfect answers. I believe we can move into the future, and for the heritage of Winter Olympic Games, I believe we can move into the future together. Digital technology and sports have been combined together, and e-games and e-competition have also become the new fields of Shijingshan district. Now let's welcome CEO of Omnicom Digital, Mr. Jonathan Nelson, who will talk about the combination of digital technology and sports. He will share his experiences. Welcome, Mr. Jonathan Nelson.
Good afternoon. Thank you everyone for having me. It's great to be here in Beijing, and it's great to be here in Shougang Park. My name is Jonathan Nelson. I'm the Global Head of Digital at Populous, and I'd like to talk to you briefly today about the rise of esports and the amazing future potential it has and how Populous is working to accelerate it. First, I'd like to show you a video to set the stage, which looks at some of the projects that we've worked on. So Populous is a design firm that has global reach. It was founded over 40 years ago, and it's worked on 3,200 projects globally to date. We work in a very narrow set of typologies, which includes stadiums, arenas, co-ex and exhibition, collegiate market, professional sports market, master planning, and event management. So you may know us best as the designers of the Ice Ribbon venue from the Beijing 2022 Olympics. Populous is also the global leader in esport venue design, and in less than a decade, we've worked on over 20 esport-specific projects with a total construction value of over $1.8 billion US. So a little bit about the esports industry. Esports and gaming is the world's fastest growing sport and recreational activity, and it's where real and virtual worlds meet, which is very specific to this type of event. And the numbers sort of back up this growth. People between the ages of 18 and 22, 77% of them watch more esports than they do traditional sports. And in the year 2023, the global esports viewership is projected to be 646 million people. And that equates to a revenue in the esports industry this year of about $1.5 billion US, which is a 50% increase year over year. China is very well positioned to capitalize on the growth of the esports here because China already represents 30% of the global video game industry, and 50% of the global gaming population. For more perspective, that's 318 billion RMB and 700 million active gamers in China alone. China is single-handedly the largest segment of the largest market of e-gaming, which is Asia itself. China has also made steps towards formalizing this by recognizing esports as a formal sport 20 years ago in 2003. And that leads on to esports gaining more recognition as a medaling sport in major events. In the 2019, 2021, and 2023 Southeast Asia Games, esports was a medal sport. In the upcoming 2022 Asian Games in Hangzhou, esports is a medaling sport as well. But it's not all virtual. The gamers actually want to form social connections. What's unique about the esports industry is that it's both physical and digital at the same time, but that means that the connections between people, no matter how far apart they are or how close together, are very, very real. So in saying that, let's look at some venues and events that Populous has worked on recently. The first one is the global esports arena designed for the NBA 2K event in Indianapolis, Indiana in 2022. This is a mixture between professional sports in the National Basketball Association and the developers of the NBA video game Take-Two Interactive. It's the first official esports league that is operated by a professional sports league. The event provides professional commentary, pro esports players playing against pro basketball players, and most importantly, real and meaningful interaction between the two. In some other specific venues, here's the Fusion Arena. This is the first purpose-designed Overwatch League venue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. It is designed for professional Overwatch League team Fusion. This is a 65,000 square foot space with a 3,500 person capacity. It's a partnership between Comcast Spectator and the Cordish companies and is the first piece of an extensive new mixed-use entertainment district in the area. There's other viewing experiences, including balcony bars, club seats, flexible loge boxes and executive suites, and there's 10,000 square feet of behind-the-scenes space for training facilities, state-of-the-art broadcast studios, and offices. This is a view of the main esports arena in esports mode. Notice the fan-shaped layout and the large wraparound screen, which is typical of this typology. What's interesting also about these venues is that they are very well suited to mixed mode. Here's what it looks like for a music concert, and it works just as well. Then we can move on to the largest esports stadium in North America, the Arlington Esports Stadium, completed in 2018. This has 30,000 square feet of event space and a 2,500 person capacity. It's for large-scale competition events, public gaming centers. It features retail, high-performance training areas, state-of-the-art media production studios, and VIP premium amenities like you would see in larger venues. The venue also has custom multimedia facilities and merchandising that is branded for the teams playing within it. Here's the venue itself. Notice again the large wraparound screen and fan-shaped venue. Now on to the largest esports complex in the Southern Hemisphere. This is the Fortress Esports Complex in Melbourne, Australia. Completed in 2020, it has 29,000 square feet of arena and a 1,000 person capacity. Its venue is located in the central business district of Melbourne, part of a premium retail precinct that unlocks the opportunity for unique space for devoted fans, gamers, and casual gamers alike. Flexible spaces allow the venue to open up or close off depending on need for up to 500 patrons. Again, a view of the esports arena. The business model of this is very unique to this typology at 40% hospitality, 30% retail, and 30% gaming. As you can see here, there's branded merchandise shops, a themed restaurant, content creation and broadcasting facilities, and even gaming facilities for amateur and casual gamers. But esports has much more potential than just esports, as I've shown before. We can bring about a new generation of interactive content, technology, and popular culture. Esports venues are natural friends with things like advanced technology and product design, art, mixed reality, and other things including immersive mixed reality gaming with live motion tracking and real-time broadcasting, as well as virtual performances that can be broadcast throughout the world in real time as well. And on a bigger scale, Populous is also working on retail mall concepts centered around esports themes. This is a concept that we've recently completed in Malaysia, which is a multi-use retail, food and beverage, and esports shopping mall, and it includes integrated music studios and esports training facilities. And even bigger yet, we're working on larger full entertainment precincts centered around esports with multiple uses, including hotels, residential, training facilities, esports arena, live public broadcasts, and much, much more. So thank you for listening. I look forward to any cooperation opportunities between Chinese governments and clients in the esports industry. Please scan the QR code and follow us on WeChat, and I'll be available later today for questions or comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jonathan Nelson. Very impressive. 谢谢。通过
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you for your amazing introduction. And he talked about the new business model for eSport. And I hope that in the future, Populous can have deeper cooperation with the Shijingshan district. And 2023 marks the 10 years anniversary of the establishment of the Belt and Initiative. And none of this cannot be done without the support of the governmental organizations. And next, I will give the floor to Linnell Chen, the president of ADNRS. Distinguished government officials, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today, on behalf of Friends Belt and Road Initiative Association, and I would like to talk about this topic. And before getting started, I would like to introduce our association. Our association established in 2019 in Paris, France. It's a non-governmental organization. And this association consists of experts from France and Africa, and also include the leaders from enterprises. And we're dedicated to promote the Belt and Road Initiative, and also to promote the economic ties and cooperation ways between China and France, and also lay a solid foundation for both sides. And we have gained a great development in sports, agriculture. And this year we mark the 10 years anniversary of Belt and Road Initiative, and we have achieved tremendous results. And I remember vividly, in the year 2020, January, I've met with the foreign minister of Congo, and because she just took the office, and she listened to the introduction of Belt and Road Initiative, and asked me a lot of questions. And originally, the meeting intended for 1 hour, but it lasted for 2.5 hours. And she sent the invitation for us and asked us to go to Congo. And she mentioned that the Belt and Road Initiative raised by President Xi is a road of peacefulness and a road of cooperation. And there are a lot of cases like this. And we met the ambassador from the Senegal, and he visited China for a number of times, and he was amazed of the development of China. And he was also very grateful for the infrastructures that are built by China. And the Belt Road Initiative really attracted attention from the African countries. And in the November of 2021, together with the Silk Road Research Center and also with 35 North companies. And we have successfully held Band Road conferences. And we are very honored to have the enterprise leaders from China and France. And also we talk about the sustainable development for China and for Africa. And we are also invited to attend the Sino and Africa conference. And till now, 150 countries and 33 international associations have joined the Belt and Road Initiative. And I believe that there will be the next stage for Belt and Road Initiative, and it's going to attract more people. And we need to review and also to summarize on the lesson learned so that we can make progresses. We need to think about our advantages. And in 2009, the joint announcement of China and France and the Winter Olympic Games, they all enlightened us. And the government officials from China, from France, and we have made a lot of consensus. And also encourage exchange of people, and also the exchange of infrastructure. And the Winter Olympic Games was successfully held in Beijing. And Beijing is the first city that held the both summer and winter Olympic Games. And France and China have achieved great results for the ski and snow sports. And Beijing also developed the ice and snow economies. And together with the Jockey Association, and we we asked the Olympic winner from the Olympic Games to join these training sessions. And it started a new chapter for both sides. And President Macron visited China this year. And under his visiting, the China and the French side have signed a series of contracts such as surfing. And now let's review some data for the sports industry. And the sport industry has become the fastest growing industry in the worldwide. And the volume is around 1.1 trillion euros. And the growth rate is really high. It's like 1.4 times of the GDP growth. And by 2025, 3.5 billion people exercise on the regular basis. And by the first half of 2023, and the number of arena increased by 6.7%. And the consumption volume is around 150 million yuan. And it will increase to 280 million yuan next year. And China has become a great market for sport consumption. And sports is resilient. And it's also and is not affected by the economic cycle. And what supports the sports development, I think, is the technology. Technology drives the growth. And we also experience the digitalization, data sharing, and which offered the brand new experiences for the sport lovers. And the second is the cross-boundary and the cross-sectors collaboration, like sports plus luxury plus art and plus music. And important competition also drive the development of sports. The most important competition is Olympic Games. Olympic Game is the like a carnival for people who love sports. So I would like to mention a very important name, which is the father of modern Olympic Games, and he's French. And because he has a sports dream, and the World Cup is also initiated by a French guy called Limit. 2024, Paris is going to hold Olympic Games, and this is the second time that Paris holds Olympic Games after 100 years. And that became an inclusive, a very young, sustained competition for the people who love sports. And in Paris competition, and rock climbing, surfing, and skateboard, and dancing are included into the Olympic Games. And because there are a lot of surf lovers worldwide, and it also shows the charm of these sports. And China has formed the national athletes team for surfing. And I believe that it will obtain the great exposure in this field. And during the pandemic, and I visited the Sanya, the popular surfing spot. And they say that in the peak area, peak time, the 20,000 people go there for surfing, which helped to trigger the economic growth. But they have imposed with some challenges because the surfing industry is affected by the natural resources, such as the sea pollution, lack of coaches. And I think the challenges come with opportunities. And this is the surf making machine. And there will be great trends for the surfing sports. And I believe that those sports are from nature, come from nature, and is going to integrate it in our urban life.
训练. At the same time, the athletes can enjoy more training, and the competition will be safer, and each urbanization will present opportunities. So that's surfing. The first generation of surfing machine, we can create the regular waves. The second generation, we can create the waves similar to the sea wave. We have some surfing parks providing the professional training for professional athletes. The third generation of the wave makers, they can simulate the real feeling of the sea waves through the machine. They can adjust the height 2 meters in height and 1,000 waves per hour, compared with the second generation wave making machine. We can have recycling of the water and reduce noise by 60% and reduce 25% of the energy utilization. And we have lower cost and lower maintenance costs as well. And the Sino-France Surfing Ecosystem Park project will utilize the latest technology and will also work with the professionals, wave maker, and we will also work with the professionals, and we'll also work with these professional teams. France has been renowned as the strong professional country with 5,000 surfing spots, and I believe competition and events will also be hosted. We'll work with the International Surfing Organization to host the large-scale indoor surfing competition. Next year will mark 60th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic ties between China and France. It will also be the year of China-France tourism year. Our cooperation will be elevated to a new high. And I wish the friendship between the two countries long-lasting. Thank you, Mr. Chen. Thank you for sharing through his presentation and the speeches by all of the leaders. We fully understand that the cooperation of openness is quite important. Now let's look at the key project signing ceremony. And I wish all of you to witness this important ceremony. Today we'll have a lot of premium enterprises signing cooperation agreement with Shijingshan. We'll have different government resources and premium capital resources working with us. We can provide more diversified, more convenient services to the public. We can boost economic development and industry upgrading as well. Now let's welcome the Deputy District Manager, Ms. Li Shijingshan of Shijingshan District. Let's invite all of the representatives from the enterprises. Let's welcome Mr. Li Shijingshan. Please come onto the stage. The Deputy District Mayor of Shijingshan District. Now let's look at the representative from the enterprises. Beijing Yizhi Jinxi Real Estate Development Co. Limited. Please come to the stage. Representative. And the CCCC Urban Renewal Co. Limited. Foreign Languages Sonac International Culture Communication Co. Limited. And Bayue Yunjian Beijing Aerospace Technology Research Institute Co. Limited. And Railway Construction Blue Ocean Beijing Private Offering Fund Management Co. Limited, Beijing Outlook Times Media Co. Limited, and Aerospace Kaiyuan Technology Co. Limited, Guoguang Shenhua Investment Management Co. Beijing Co. Limited. And all of you, please take the pen signing on the agreement. Everyone, congratulations. The first group of enterprises signing the ceremony. And thank you for coming to Shijingshan. Congratulations. Let's take a group photo. Let's look at this great important moment. Dear representatives of the enterprises, you can go back to your seats, and District Manager Mr. Li, please stay here. The second round. I will read the names of the enterprises. Representatives please come to the stage. Beijing Shougang New Energy Technology Co. Limited, Singapore Eton International Education Co. Limited, and Both Speed Beijing Technology Co. Limited, Beijing Jida Zhenyuan Information Technology Co. Limited, Beijing Maxwell Technology Co. Limited, Beijing Lianchuang High-Tech Information Technology Co. Limited, Beijing Meifang Technology Co. Limited, and Beijing Yiyang ICT Technology Co. Limited. Please take the pen. Please sign on the agreement. Okay, we can see your signature on the screen. Please take a group photo. Congratulations. Thank you. Let's look at the third round signing project of the Shougang Group. Let's welcome Shougang Group, member of the Standing Committee of CBC Committee of Shougang, Ms. Liang Jie. The representatives from the enterprises, Migu Culture Technology Co. Limited, Service Cooperation Agreement of China Technology Exchange Co. Limited, Beijing Shuzhe Data Technology Co. Limited, Beijing Institute of Technology Genshu Technology Co. Limited, Beijing Fangzhou Technology Co. Limited, and Beijing Aerospace Changfu Technology Industry Co. Limited, Beijing Branch, Pico Coffee Beijing Co. Limited, and Giant Han Interactive Technology Beijing Co. Limited. Please come to the stage. Please stand under your signature of your company. Sign your name. Okay, let's take a group photo. Congratulations. The conclusion of the signing agreement. Take your seat. In order to see the development opportunities of AI and promote the research and development of innovative application of general artificial intelligence models and create a new growth pillar and strengthen our new vitality. Shijingshan District focused on the construction of Beijing International Service Technology Innovation Center, focusing on data algorithms and computing power, and promote key technologies and build characteristic application scenarios, optimize innovation development ecosystem, and create a new model and a new cluster of the new area and a new development. Let's welcome Deputy District Manager Ms. Li Wenhua coming to the stage. Let's look at the signing agreement representatives. The Cloud Computing and Big Data Research Institute of the China Information Research Institute, Huawei Technology Co. Limited, and the Institute and the Group Joint Stock Company and Xiaodu Intelligent Technology Beijing Co. Limited and Zhiying Intelligent Technology Co. Limited Beijing, Face War Intelligent Co. Limited Beijing, Shougang Yunji Technology Co. Limited Beijing, Ronglian Yitong Information Technology Co. Limited. Please look at the stage, look at the screen. Please sign on the agreement. Let's take a group photo. Now you can take your seat, and Ms. Li, please come stage with us on the stage. Shougang Park is the birthplace of the application area of digital IMB during the Winter Olympic Games. Recently, Shijingshan District formulated digital IMB pilot implementation plan, and we have made every effort to build the first digital IMB comprehensive pilot zone. The post-winter stage in Shougang Park will use the science fiction scenarios and create the excellent payment system. Will create the comprehensive development zone. Now let's welcome Deputy District Manager Ms. Li and Bank of Beijing Vice President Mr. Wang Jian. Will work with 8 digital IMB science fiction application scenario enterprises. Zhongguancun Science Fiction Industry Innovation Center, please come onto the stage. Light Chess Animation Design Beijing Co. Limited, and the very first 6 companies enjoying the loans of Beijing branch of Beijing Bank of Beijing, 智高神剑北京 Technology Co. Limited, Beijing Shenbo Co. Limited, Beijing 麦波赫 Sunlight Technology Co. Limited, PV Technology Co. Limited, and Beijing Duanxi Power Technology Co. Limited, and Beijing Polaris Technology Co. Limited. We sign on the agreement. Will create the science fiction for the utilization of IMB and the application of IMB here in Shijingshan.
好，看镜头。此刻我们对。
And we have great confidence and passion for the future. Please stay with us. Now let's welcome Bank of China, Bank of Beijing branch, Mr. Wang, and Mr. Zhao Weizhou coming onto the stage. Today, I believe we have prepared a souvenir for all of the enterprises. You will enjoy the first digital RMB science fiction, the hard wallet. The leaders, please present the wallet. If guys, I believe you are curious what does it mean for digital RMB science fiction hard wallet. Let's look at the screen. Let's check it out. It's a science fictional and cultural white. Let's take a photo. Please present the wallet. And the theme is 30,000 miles of Chang'an. It symbolizes a new journey. Thank you to our leaders. Please take your seats. The next part will be International Open Cooperation Zone, the official launch. The International Open Cooperation Zone is supported by different ministries and different departments of the central government. And Beijing Municipality want to build a new level and new high-end open cooperation platform. And I believe this is also the important fruit of CIFTUS here in Shijingshan. Today, we will launch our internal cooperation platform. Let's see the video clip and check it out.
此处值得有。
And let's make some noise. And this international open cooperation zone is really relevant to our forum's topic, open and cooperation. And it has obtained great support from Beijing Municipality, government, and Shijingshan district support. And also we have gained the support from the partners from the overseas government. And we also signed MOU from Singapore government agencies. And at the same time, Singapore has established relations with the import and export of mechanical and electrical products, commerce, and also facilitate to promote the deeper cooperation with both sides. And today we are very honored to have the partners with here today. So I would like to invite them to come to the stage and to usher this important time. Mr. Wang Zhiyong, Deputy Head of Shijingshan District People Government. Ye Qingwen, Business Counselor of Singapore Embassy in China. Zheng Chao, Executive Vice President of China Chamber of Commerce for import-export of mechanical and electronic products. And Xie Xiaochu, Overseas Member of China Federation of Returned Overseas Chinese. Zhou Yanjun, Overseas Member of China Federation of Returned Overseas Chinese, and the President of European Federation of Overseas Chinese. Feng Xinliang, Chief Representative of International Business Development of North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany. Shen Zhuolin, Shougang Fund. Sun Youning, Managing Director of Singapore Golden Eagle Group Real Estate. Let's witness this important moment, and please put your right hand on the initiator, and I'm going to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The International Open Zone initiates. And this International Cooperation Zone is officially launched. And let's take a group picture. And with an open heart, let's go hand in hand and to make Shijingshan brighter and stronger. And all the people who sit here, you just witnessed a very important moment for Shijingshan. And in this international open zone, we believe that we can give a full play of the economy, and also we can together we can achieve a greater result. Thank you. Thank you so much. I believe that you will remember this beautiful moment. And in the 20th National Congress, open, equal, fairness, and international cooperation ensure us a better business environment. And China is also engaging in the standard formulation and standards sharing. And at the same time, we also executing the standards from RCEP and the WTO, and also subsidize the limitation from the surveys and the trade area. And at the same time, we are dedicated to improve the quality of the growth. And this is an important content for achieving high quality development. And next, we are going to proceed into the panel discussion. And in this panel discussion, and we're going to discuss the open cooperation for a shared future. Jointly building a high-level international open cooperation zone. International open cooperation zone. A few words seem very easy, but it hinders a great importance. And next, I would like to invite our panelists to come to the stage. Mr. Shen Zhuolian from Shougang Fund. Wang Zhiyong, the Deputy Director of Shijingshan District. President Li Jiachang from the Singapore Golden Eagle Group. Zhao Wanghong. Feng Xinliang, the representative of the International Business Development of North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany. Please find your seats. And now I'm very honored to have the moderator with us, Executive Vice President of ADG, Ms. Zhang Li. Distinguished government officials, dear friends, and new friends and old friends, my name is Zhang Li with ADG, and I'm very honored to moderate the panel discussion. And this panel discussion is about cooperation and a win-win situation. And today we get together, no matter where you are from, no matter from China or overseas, from government or business fields, and we would like to discuss the open cooperation. And this is a very special venue because Shougang is very important for Shijingshan because it's a landmark. It used to be an important industrial base. So what is the Shijingshan like, and what was it like? And this is the legacy from the industrial base. Again, we can feel the vitality of this venue, and we can feel the rejuvenation of this venue. And what impressed me is openness and cooperation. And we have turned the industrial base to the important landmark. This is Shougang Park. It's an important place and venue for safety and for Winter Olympic Games. And we are dedicated to build more cooperation. And we have heard a lot of good news for Shijingshan. And just announced the International Cooperation Zone. And when we talk about the International Cooperation Zone, and it sounds quite familiar, international cooperation. So what is this zone like? So we're very honored to have the representative from the different sectors. And Shijingshan is a host. And also we are very honored to have the representative from private sectors. So I would like to ask, International Corporate Zone, what does it like? And what functionalities are with the International Corporate Zone? So what's your impression of hearing this? Maybe I pop my question to Mr. Wang Zhiyong. And Shijingshan is a host for this conference. And what does the international cooperation zone include? And what should we expect from the zone? Thank you, Ms. Zhang Li. It's called International Open Zone. And each of the words sounds very familiar to you. International Open Cooperation Zone. And when we plan for this area, and we try to figure out the name, and we chose this name, and we are very honored to have experts from different fields, and we also want to hear their options. And maybe I want to listen to the other panelists' answer. And I'll review the answer later. And just now, Mr. Zhiyong corrected me. It is called International Cooperation Open Zone. And when we build this zone, international cooperation is the key word. And we know that Shijingshan with Singapore have reached a lot of agreement and cooperation from the different levels. And the Golden Eagle enjoys a long history. And you focus on clean energy. And what actions are going to take in Shijingshan district? I want to know, for a foreign company, how do you interpret this open international cooperation zone? Distinguished guests and distinguished officials, I'm very honored to attend this forum and to talk about the international open zone. Singapore Golden Eagle is an international corporation and headquarters located in Singapore. And we have global presence. And in China, we expanded our business all over China. And in Beijing, we focus on real estate.
Why we can see the potential here in Beijing? Because we have witnessed the momentum and the potential in terms of open cooperation. In this region, it is based on modern service industry and created into the high-end cooperation platform, right? For our business, we believe this is of great strength and high quality. Our vision is that at the end of the day, this region will be habitable, livable, and suitable for living and daily life and office work. We want to say thank you to the relevant government departments at the municipal and district level. Thank you for your support. I believe their support is a great boost for us to create a new scenario. Thank you, Mr. Liu. Hope that this kind of scenario will be implemented here. In the future, I hope that we can look at the modern open cooperation zone. At the same time, we'll have our traditional industrial heritage. I believe Mr. Shen, back to Shougang. When we are creating this kind of cooperation zone, we have the government support and the businesses support and capital and the social support as well. I want to understand that for Shougang Fund in the future, what role you can play, and how do you understand international cooperation zone? What's your take on that? Thank you, Mr. Zhang Li. International cooperation zone I believe it is promoted by Shijingshan district, and the carrier is Shougang Fund and Singapore RGE Group. We want to look at the high-end international open cooperation zone. It requires all stakeholders to join forces. Shougang Fund has served as important carriers with three boosts. First, we will build the nest, we'll build the location, right? We'll look at the high-end carrier space for the industries. We want to boost the introduction of domestic and international premium resources. Second, and enterprises. Second, we want to manage the business attraction of the high-end international open cooperation zone, especially for those enterprises with technology, innovation, modern service zone. These companies can come to Shijingshan to help us build international service, high-end, international consumption center as well, and boost the upgrading of the local industries. Third, we can manage the local and business services and industry services. Shougang Fund will look at our own models: fund plus road plus industry plus land plus industry. And this model has been supported by the government. We can provide the enterprises in this park with financial services and policy services and industry incubation and industry acceleration. We want to boost the enterprise here in the park with high-speed growth. In this way, the international open cooperation zone will be built into the unicorn to attract the high-end enterprises. Thank you, Mr. Shen. As the three roles of Shougang Fund, some functions have been fulfilled. For example, you have built the location, the space here. With Shougang Fund support, you can also attract top-notch enterprises such as the RGE from Singapore. More business will come. And the industry service. In these three stages, I believe we have one important part, which is about the construction and the creation and for the upgrading of the park. For Mr. Zhao, for your company, JY Consultancy, Wendy Zhao, you have your expertise, right? As from Singapore to China, what kind of experiences you can bring here? And when we create the international cooperation zone, what is your understanding of the concept itself, and then at the company level? How can you tap into your resources and advantage? How can you design and build this kind of international cooperation zone? I'm very honored to be here to engage in this International Open Cooperation Zone Forum. I believe I'm from JY Consultancy, and we are starting our business here in China. We have integrated resources from Singapore, who have engaged in Suzhou Industrial Park and JY Island, JY Industrial Park in Singapore, and then we can combine the expertise from China and Singapore. Our target is that we can have the global vision and the China practice. International experience can be fulfilled, and they can be bring to China with specific fruits. For international cooperation, you can see that in the video clip, it is quite amazing. You can have some excellent work that have already been done. If we have the International Open Cooperation Zone concept, it should have several keywords, right? 5 parts I want to share with you. The first part, it is the open and inclusive zone. In terms of the mindset, it is open and inclusive for different cultures, different systems. and different mindsets and different mentality. We have the openness and inclusiveness. Second, in terms of service and business environment creation, we want to build the harmonious and open and cooperation environment. And then for the industries, look at the investment and the business trade and service, whether our industrial chain can be extended upward and downward, whether relevant enterprises can be connected, and then we'll have the system, our own ecosystem. And the third part is the ecosystem of innovation driven. We should look at our industries and business attraction and system building. I believe it requires the innovation driven momentum. The fourth part is about the demonstration. It should be low carbon and green, livable and suitable for business, business friendly. The fifth part, if you can win the future, you can win the whole world. This international open cooperation zone is favored by the young people in Singapore and China. I believe it is young and vigorous. The host has also mentioned that in building the park, we have very mature planning and design. I believe it is for phase 1. It is 1,000 hectares. We have the bright future. Due to limited time frame, I cannot give you the details, but I believe in the building we have 3 soft and 3 hard. For the hard, we have the top-notch design, system building, and mechanism building, institutional building. What kind of enterprises or industries we want to bring in? Second, based on the top-notch design, we want to look at the system planning. I believe you should look at the industry planning and the space planning, and how we can look at the land efficiency, how can use the land for flexible planning. And then you should also look at the top-notch design and the function implementation. At the end of the day, in terms of infrastructure, we should be visionary. We should look at the current and the future, and we should look at the system-based method. The third part of the hardware is about the different buildings, green buildings and energy buildings, zero carbon buildings. For 3 softs, I believe it is the soft functions such as the cultural function and innovative system building, institutional building. We are in the central functional zone of Beijing. Some institution of innovation can also be promoted, and they will also be the role model for others to follow suit. Third part is about the branding and the culture, how we can build our own very brand of international open cooperation, and then we can become the new brand, new name card of Beijing. Over the past 60-80 years of founding of Singapore, we have been doing 2 major things in line with that of Shijingshan district. For every 10 years, it will have the industry upgrading. From the very first, it was a small fishing village, and then it has managed the urban renewal. Today's forum has also focused on urban renewal. These 2 pursuits have also been gone through by Shijingshan and Singapore. I believe the 2 parts can work with each other. We have a bright future of cooperation. Thank you, Mr. Zhao. It's very systematic and very clear cut. 3 hard and 3 soft. We should look at our own name card. What is our name card of International Open Cooperation Zone? International Open Cooperation, it is quite important. In terms of the title, we will have different time frame for what we should do. We should open first, and then we should have the cooperation. Mr. Zhao has introduced his important ideas, and we have talked about the Singapore and China cooperation and the journey ahead of us. We have a lot of mutual learning from each other. Each time when we talk about urban renewal and industrial upgrading, I believe in your mind, the very first country in our mind is Germany, such as the rural industrial zone retrofitting and renovation. Many countries and many cities have followed suit for more learning. Today, we have invited Mr. Feng from NRW Global Business. In NRW of Germany, in terms of the industry upgrading and urban renewal, we have found one interesting phenomenon. In Germany, in one region, when we manage the urban renewal, some guests have mentioned that we have the design, and then we should bring in the top-notch premium resources and enterprises. You have the continuous investment as well. In attracting the foreign enterprises and foreign businesses, we should create the region. In NRW, you have a lot of experiences to share. I want to invite Mr. Feng. Based on this concept of international cooperation zone, what is your understanding? And based on your previous experience in Germany, what can you share with us in terms of the industry upgrading and the urban renewal? What kind of experiences we can borrow or we can learn from Germany? I believe Ms. Zhao has been talking a lot about the first question. I believe in the morning, District Mayor Mr. Li and Dr. Liu have been talking about it with me, and I understand that for international open cooperation zone, it should be open-minded, it should be inclusive and universally beneficial, and it should also be fair and square in taxation and legal aspects. Actually, I've been learning a new word suitable for our zone, and we should serve beyond the war, and we should understand what we can do. Sometimes we need to understand the scope of service provided, taxation, consultation. These are quite needed by the zone. Second, in terms of the operation management service, talent is quite important. International talent, integration and inflation, and the taxation and the customs clearance and the financial service. Mr. Shen has also been talking about it. We should also focus on the startups.
And also we want to down to details, such as provide apartments and hotel service apartment for the young people, and even move the hospital from the overseas market to China. And another part is education. And education make people want to stay in that area. I think this fundamental and very essential services. And for Germany, for NRW, and it's quite similar with Shijingshan because we have very strong industrial base. And because they started to dig the coal from the 16th century and stop, and also they reached the peak in 19th century, and also they turned themselves to clean energy, and they build a lot of digital platform and attract the high technology companies, but they also maintain some heavy industries enterprises, and that company focuses on mining, and also they do the hydrogen and how to turn the coal to fluid. So transformation does not mean to give up. Transformation means that we need to adapt ourselves to the new environment and the new momentums. Because we used to focus, we will focus on investment. I know there's a German company located in Shijingshan, and we want to attract a Chinese company to come to Germany to invest and to have business there. And we have a very professional team. And they have very solid they have conducted very solid research on an RW. So we want to share our experience for the company who want to invest in Germany or who want to invest in China. And we have 12 industrial clusters. And also we have companies come from AI and from the other advanced technologies. And we have over 1,200 enterprises, Chinese enterprises. And 30% of the German companies come to China to invest. I think we are on a very successful path. Thank you, Mr. Feng. Thank you for your sharing. And talk about the talent, education, medical care. And now is the advertisement time for Shijingshan. And I understand that Shijingshan has very preferential policies for attracting the professionals and experts. Very competitive regulation. And in our daily life, and we have done the matchmaking with a lot of enterprises and help them to make the sales and help them to do the promotion. And after they listen to the preferential regulation of Shijingshan, they are very amazed and surprised. And they contact the Shijingshan government immediately. So I hope that in the future, more companies would turn the focus on Shijingshan district. And back to our question. Open international cooperation. And Mr. Feng talked about the achievements that are made by NRW Germany, and I believe that people would turn more focuses on Shijingshan to have their offices in Shijingshan. And maybe I hand over back to Mr. Wang Zhiyong, the Vice Mayor of Shijingshan District. And what is the feature of this zone? And what makes you want to insist in this industry? And experts here, they have a very strong international exposure, and I'm very happy to have them. We also learn from them. And international cooperation open zone is very important project. And what will it look like? I think we need to find our ways all together, and at the same time we modify our actions. And I would like to talk about our thought. Yesterday, in the Safety Summit, and President Xi sent over his video remarks, and he mentioned that China is waiting to promote the world economy growth and recovering with the other countries. And he said 4 sentences. And surveys will promote open cooperation. Surveys cooperation will promote linkage and innovation. And service sharing will create a bright future. And that draw a lot of attention from the among the audience. And he mentioned the open innovation, cooperation, and sharing. And this year marks the 45th anniversary for opening up. And it also guides us for high quality development in the future. And I believe you have the same resonance with me. Open and cooperation are our perspective of value and our perspective of world. And cooperation and open are very crucial, and it's also the same for Shijingshan. And the theme of this year's safety is open and also lead to development and cooperation for a shared future. And we're not like playing the words and playing the characters. We do feel the crucial feature of open cooperation for a shared future. So we would like to build the international open cooperation zone, and this is why the safety was held in Shijingshan for the past 3 years. It's quite relevant with the theme of safeties. Why Shijingshan? Why we want to do this? I think I can summarize it with 3 words. I think it's timing. Because Shijingshan has endeavored for the past 10 years. And we turn ourselves from the industrial base to a green, a sustainable development. We also restructured the industrial base. Even without that, we won't be able to hold the safeties. And our service industry takes 85% of the GDP, because in the past, the heavy industry takes 75%. I think this is timing. With our size and with our scale, and our economic volume is our 10 billion RMB, and digital economy takes 51%. It actually ranks a very high position among all the districts in Beijing. And finance and information industry have realized our 10 billion volume. And this is our foundation, and this is a very important foundation. And from Beijing's perspective, the government attaches a great importance for Shijingshan development. A lot of big projects located in Shijingshan, like Winter Olympic Games, was held in Shougang Park, and a lot of training centers and competition arena are also in Winter Olympic Games. And the Olympic Committee office also located here. And Shijingshan successfully drew the attention from the worldwide and the safeties. The theme forum will also held here, and this is the important decision made by Beijing Municipality. And in the state convention is more high-end and comprehensive exhibition, but in Shougang we hold 9 themes, and it helped to foster the exchange of ideas and Beijing Overseas Chinese organization, they also play an important role to connect the overseas Chinese. And also Beijing Municipality located a talent center in Shijingshan, and it's one of the 4 talent centers in the city. And we can see that the city government poured a lot of resources and confidence on us. And it happens naturally, but we know our responsibility. So this is why we want to accelerate to open the international cooperation zone. I think second is the position, because Shijingshan is in the center area in Beijing. And just now, Mr. Chang Wei introduced the situation of Shijingshan. And we think about if we are confident to, whether we are confident to do that. We are very confident because we are the one of the 8 districts in Beijing Municipality. No matter it's Winter Olympic Games, safeties, Overseas Chinese Association, and is the decision. I think that is a decision made by Beijing Municipality, because the city government want to drive the development of the western part of Beijing. And another geographical urban design, and Shijingshan is the national industrial transformation base. This is a national industrial transformation base.
Shougang Park is the key modern urban renewal landscape and landmark here in Beijing. Ms. Liang Jie, the Deputy General Manager, has also introduced that we are trying to create the International Innovation Center and the highland of Shougang Innovation and International Consumption Center. This is the support that we can provide from Shougang. The influence of Shougang has also been elevated. It's not that we are like the downtown area. They have premium locations, but we have the vigor and vitality and the visitors here, especially the openness, that have created major conditions for us. This is the renewal, and then you can see we can put together the premium resources. Today, you can see while we are hosting the seminar here, we have invited different guests from different fields for dialogue, for discussion, and for the offstage communication. This is quite crucial for the stakeholders. International open cooperation zone has also been supported by all stakeholders. For example, some countries, friendly countries, and embassies, and ministers, and councillors from Singapore, and some chambers of commerces, and RGE, and Shougang Fund. I believe we have the confidence to do that. If we want to manage well, we needed to utilize this platform. we should have the forces pulling together. In the next stage, we'll continue to work with each other. In this process, all stakeholders should engage in it. For example, we have some businesses that have been operating here for a long time here in Shijingshan. ADG, right? It is also our partner that has brought many resources here. That is why we can give full play to our role. Today, we are launching the International Open Cooperation Zone. We have a long way to go. And what is the future like for us? It's not that we want to set limits, but we are moving towards this trend. We should look at the 10 square kilometers and 11 million square meters zone. And I believe we can elevate it with new functions. It is different from Suzhou Industrial Park and some other areas in Singapore. We have been talking with other parks and working with other parks, industrial parks in Germany and in Japan. I believe we'll have new development and new construction. We should also look at the industry cooperation and the industry ecosystem and policy system and service. We should also look at the services from our society communities. As Mr. Li Xing has mentioned, Eton International Kindergarten has also been concluded. Tomorrow, some kids will enter this international kindergarten to enjoy the international education. I believe we should work harder and up our game. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wang Zhiyong. From his speech, you can see that we have the confidence and aspiration for the future. Hope that in Shijingshan in the future, in the International Open Cooperation Zone will be more successful. And I believe we can also look at our dreams of innovation and sharing. For Shijingshan, why it is made this way, we have the premium foundation and the conditions. And I believe SIFTers and other important events have also selected this venue as the conference location. The government has made a lot of efforts to do that. On the other hand, it means that the Beijing Municipal People's Government has the resolve to do that. In the future, the businesses can enjoy strong potential, strong support. We have every fund quality and every condition. As Mr. Li, for Mr. Li, this is our understanding for Shijingshan Park, Shijingshan District, and Shougang Park. As the international enterprise for Singapore, RGE, you have a lot of projects in a lot of countries, in China as well. And why you have chosen Shijingshan as your new location? And first, you will embrace this concept, right, of premium conditions from the people, from the government, from society, and what kind of new opportunities you have tapped into, and what we can do in the future, and what is your planning for the future. I fully agree with what Mr. Wang has mentioned. We have every condition from the policies, from the government, from the people, from the social aspects. We have been working with Shougang Fund. At 3 aspects, I will answer your questions. First, the advantage of Beijing. Last year, Beijing's GDP hit the new high, about over 600 billion USD. It is #1 in Beijing in China in terms of per capita number, which means that Beijing is quite rich. At the same time, for the strategic positioning of Beijing. For example, we have the 2 zones policies and 4 centers. These plans can support our project, elevating it to new high. Second, in terms of the advantage of Shijingshan, I will share with you my personal feelings. Several years ago, due to the pandemic,
只来过中国2、3次。
I didn't visit China quite often in the past 3 years, only 2 or 3 times. One is for the opening ceremony of the Beijing 2022, and then this time the sifters. I believe green transformation and development has enabled Shijingshan to embark on the international stage with the new phenomena. For me, I come from Singapore. I can see a new face here. When I see China, when I see Beijing, it is what Shijingshan district can present. That is why we have excellent expectation on this project. At the same time, for our project, it is the west line of Shougang Avenue. It will have unified operation with the largest scale. We have the greatest state-of-the-art hardware for the office buildings. This will become the focus of Shijingshan, and we have great hope on that. Last but not least, I want to say, let's look at the cooperation between the government and the businesses. As Mr. Wang has mentioned, the district government and relevant organizations and departments and the Shougang Group and RG have been paying a lot of attention to it. We have established our task force, and we discuss with each other. We talk about how we can make it stronger and better. At the same time, the government has provided the packaged service policy support. The international agencies and enterprises can be encouraged to come here to Shijingshan. I believe these policies have been quite important for us, and this can also support us.
国际开放合作区是非常。
Especially in terms of business attraction, I believe we have full confidence for the future. Thank you, Mr. Li. After listening to Mr. Li's presentation, I believe this is a real example, and it can showcase that from the business perspective, how we can see the opportunities and the business environment of Shijingshan, especially for overseas enterprises, whether it is policies or the supportive facilities. Mr. Li, I believe you have the policies and understanding of Shijingshan. This is also due to the work done by the two-zone office. The voices have been sent to the overseas market. In addition to the policies, I believe in the past, Mr. Li and Shijingshan have very frequent communication at the government level and the enterprise level with Shougang. That's why we have the great policies and great tools. We hope that 500,000 square meters will showcase the strengths and the landmark project of RG here in China. Mr. Li has also talked about Shougang Fund. I want to ask Mr. Zhao, as the local enterprise here in Shijingshan, you have witnessed the journey of development of Shijingshan for the international open cooperation zone of Shijingshan. In your mind, what kind of opportunities we can tap into in terms of business opportunities and cooperation with RGE of Singapore? What are your new feelings and what is different from the previous time? And in the future, due to these opportunities, how we can seize the opportunities and how we can benefit our own development? Mr. Shen. For international open cooperation zone, it is being developing very fast. I believe it will bring in domestic and international premium resources. It will also boost communication and cooperation between different stakeholders in terms of the businesses and communities and talents. We'll also look at the opportunities at different levels. First, you need to look at the science company, innovation companies, and we will have the merger and acquisition opportunities based on our communication for digital economy, science fiction, and the green economy. These industries will present new opportunities for investment. Second, in terms of modern services, service industry, for example, in terms of infrastructure and production and market and technical service, modern service industry and advanced manufacturing have been integrated for innovation. The third part is about the overseas innovation enterprises and startups. Thanks to this international open cooperation zone, we will attract some leading enterprises and some growth enterprises. Based on the industrial chain for these leading enterprises, we can also look at the entrepreneurship and the incubation opportunities. At the same time, the other opportunities is about the consumption service. For this zone, I believe it will bring a lot of enterprises, a lot of talents and traffic. Our service in landscape and the service ecosystem will also benefit from these opportunities. We invite the service companies come to our zone, come to build your flagship store here and your product launch as well. In this process, how we can seize these opportunities? You need to look at the efforts as listed here. First, the international cooperation, open cooperation zone, the software, hardware should hit the caliber. The different factors should also be fully prepared. The deputy district and different aspects have also been talking about it. For this zone, I believe we have the policy support, the 60 projects, policies, and the talents attraction projects for Shougang Fund. We have managed 100 billion fund providing financial services and financial investment for the enterprises here.
And we have our industrial research center, business group, business school, and we provide services and supporting services for the industries. And we have incubation center. We provide acceleration services for them. And at the same time, we have over 3,000 units for the young people. And we would like to improve and grow in the future. And another point, we will enhance promotion, and we would like to invite the leaders from home and abroad, leading company from home and abroad come to Shijingshan and to land their headquarters or offices here, and to introduce the industries come to Shijingshan. And the third point is and as an investment company, because we company with the industrial parks all the way, we grow with them at the same time, and we provide different investment tools and products for them. And the philosophy is we become friends for the owners and CEOs. Last but not least, and we would like to welcome the service company to deploy beforehand and to locate in the international open competition zone. Thank you, Mr. Zhao. Thank you for your thorough details of the Shougang Fund and introduce the surveys and the products of the International Open Cooperation Zone. And it's like our cooperation with the Golden Eagle. And the Mr. Zhao also introduced 3 hard and 3 softs. And Mr. Zhao mentioned that Yulang and Golden Eagle to come to Shijingshan. And the next question is to Ms. Zhao. And I would like ask you have participated in our 100 industrial parks preparation and design. And for Shijingshan, I believe you have a very deep understanding. And we had just listened to the advantages of the zone, but I believe that there are some challenges. Would you please share the challenges with us, and then how to cope with the challenges? So compared with the other districts, what are our competitive advantages? I think the most difficult thing is to balance. When we do planning, because people come from different culture, different background, so we need to, in order to get along, we need to understand the different backgrounds. And in China, we value efficiency very much. But in some other Western countries, they can't slower, and they have their own pace. And in our industries, industrial park, they have the different sectors. Smart city, smart industrial base. I think planning is really important, and there is a balance of planning. If there is imbalance, that will cause a lot of issues. And another point is the split of the benefits, such as the social benefits, economic benefits, financial benefits, how to find the balance, and how to split the benefits and the interest fairly. I think this is a very crucial point. And for Shijingshan, and just now, our district head just mentioned that we have enjoyed the timing and the position and the people, and we also will have gained a lot of support from the government. And just now the other speakers introduced the advantages. I would like to wish Shijingshan can obtain greater results in the International Open Cooperation Zone. And also we can realize the cocoa situation, the cocoa winning. And thank you, Mr. Zhao. Thank you, Ms. Zhao. Thank you for your sharing. We hope Yulang will get on board with Shijingshan district. And I believe that if anything that we can contribute, we would very much like to get aboard. And just now, we listened to the opportunities and the challenges, and some of the deal has been made, and some are under discussion. And from my understanding, the Shijingshan government would like to go in abroad, and also would like to bring in. And the officials from Shijingshan district are going to visit NRW and to discuss some potential cooperation opportunities, and maybe bring some outcomes from the Germany's to China. And I would like to ask Mr. Feng, and you mentioned that there is some similarity between NRW and Shijingshan, and any similarities you would like to share with us? The government officials from Shijingshan district are going to visit NRW. And Mr. Chang will lead a team there. And we would like to organize some workshop. And just now we talked about the advantages of Shijingshan. And I think I like Shijingshan very much. In 1981, I'm a freshman. I'm a sophomore in university, and I went to Badachu. And I climbed the Badachu for a number of times. Shijingshan enjoys a very beautiful landscape. And if you understand the history of the First World War and the Second World War, and German produced the force military weapons, and you probably know that Li Hongzhang, he bought weapons from Germany. And Klub started from 1860, and they used to use the copper weapon, and then they upgraded it to the steel weapon. And they don't know whether the steel can meet the demands. And Li Hongzhang ordered 3,000 of the weapons, and it also used to defeat the Japanese army. And you can see the statue of Li Hongzhang outside the company. I'm very happy to see the transformation of Shijingshan district. And in NRW, you can also see some rejuvenation projects, and it's also included in 2011, and it's also included as the World Heritage. And also in new energy, new material, there are some similarities between NRW and Shijingshan districts. And another part is the biomedical field. And I know that Shijingshan is also doing a lot of work on the clean energy transformation. And there are 6 digital platforms in NRW. And Mr. Chang, the party secretary Chang, I think he probably can visit this digital platform in NRW. And the second is vocational education. I think we can seek more cooperation in vocational education. And just now, Mr. Feng talked about his experience for Badachu, and also talked about his sensation for Shijingshan, and he also talked about some specific sectors. And we hope that we could make some matching between the two sides. And just now we listened to the advantages of international open cooperation zone and what we can do in this zone. And I would like to leave the next question to our host, Mr. Wang Zhiyong, and maybe wrap up. And after listening all the speeches from our speakers, what would you like to say for Shijingshan? And what kind of a planning can provide support for our enterprises? Anything you would like to add and anything you want to talk? I would like to summarize it with several sentences. First, Shijingshan, we actually use the best part of Shijingshan to do the international open cooperation zone. It's the zone for city renewal. And also these areas comes with a great transportation accessibility and connectivity and great landscape. I think this is the best precious part of Shijingshan district. And I think it really matched the features of international open cooperation zone. And the industrial ecosystem is excellent. And another part is culture.
We have the favorable condition to do that for the cultural industry as well. Second, for this region in Shijingshan, whether you want to pursue long-term development or you want to take a look around, or we can discuss our cooperation for the future. I believe for this area it can present the emotional bond with you. I didn't live here in Shijingshan. I live in a different district. I've been working here for 2 years. You can see my colleagues and I. And when we communicate with the enterprises, people like it, especially the cultural sense of feeling and its vigor and vitality. Everything is charming, and as Mr. Chang Wei has mentioned, we have been going through the ups and downs with transformation, and in this process, we're on the faster track of transformation. 100 billion is not our target. We have higher pursuit. Our regional and per capita GDP can be higher. That is why we should look at the high-end openness at the high level. That is why we have a lot of work that should be done in terms of the policy design for the two zones. The policies can be promoted at the national level of cooperation. I hope that we can look at the regional cooperation mechanism in terms of the service industry and the survey and the international function of communication exchange with the whole world as a capital. We are quite important, as Vice Mayor Mr. Shah has mentioned. International open cooperation is an important project of Beijing. You can see we have the emotional feeling attached to Shijingshan, and I believe we'll have a deeper bond with it. I hope in this process we can work with each other and move forward together. That is what I want to share with you. Thank you. I believe today everyone has some important key takeaways, and we can have a better picture of the policy of Shijingshan, and we can fully understand what will happen here in Shijingshan, what kind of projects we can gain from Shijingshan. Due to time frame, we want to conclude our dialogue here. We want to quote the words here in swifters and the kind of words of President Xi. The international open cooperation zone will be open and to lead the cooperation, and we can see a better world, cooperation for win-win future. That is the dialogue session here. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It is a fruitful dialogue session, as Mr. Wang has mentioned. This is emotional presentation. We'll have full confidence for the future of Shijingshan district. Let's take a photo. It's in the middle. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for going through this amazing journey with us. We have witnessed and reviewed the journey of Shijingshan. We can also look into the future of Shijingshan. Open for cooperation, share the future. The guests in the first and second row, the leaders, please come onto the stage. Let's take a group photo together. Okay, the guests on the first and second row, please come onto the stage. Let's take the group photo. The guests from the dialogue station, everyone at the front and second row, let's take a group photo again. Okay. Through this dialogue session, I believe we'll have the high caliber international cooperation blueprint. Let's move a little bit to the right. Okay, everyone. Please look at the camera, okay? Wave your hand. A victory pose. It's a success, okay? Just relax and pose for the camera. Thank you, everyone. The International Open Cooperation Zone has been officially launched. In the future, we can work for results to attract global premium partners and join hands for a brighter future. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. This dialogue session is fully concluded. Thank you for being here, and thank you to everyone. Okay, see you next time. Thank you, everyone.